I feel like this video will be one of my more controversial ones because I'm about to tell you what to buy and what not to buy if you are looking for a new designer fragrance specifically for women. So this is going to be a buy this, not that type of video. And I think it goes without saying, if your opinion is different from mine, that is totally fine. But I'm about to share with you my unfiltered opinions when it comes to fragrances. You might not know this about me, but I used to work in fragrance retail for I think it was a little bit over a year, and I sold primarily designer fragrances, so I was very familiar with what people liked and what people didn't like. And what I tried to do when I was working there was introduce some fragrances to people that they may not have been familiar with, and I did that pretty successfully, I think. So this video is partially inspired by that, and also because I wanted to talk about these fragrances because why not? So if this is your first time watching this channel, hello, my name is Anya. I love perfumes and I talk about them here every single Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays with a ton of bonus content in between. So if you're interested, definitely do consider subscribing. I'm going to start off with a little bit more of a classic one. This is a perfume that I have really liked historically. It was my favorite. It was my first scent actually, and it was my favorite perfume for a very long time. I'm referring to Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel. This is such a classic. It's white florals with that classic patchouli base. This perfume will last a long time. A little bit goes a long way. I remember when I first, this was actually a gift, but when I first was wearing this fragrance, I would treasure it because one or two sprays is all I would wear from it because I wanted to savor it and savor it so much. And this is still a classic fragrance. However, if you are looking for a fragrance right now, like if you're looking for your first fragrance, I would not recommend this today. And the reason is because this perfume has already kind of had its heyday. People like it, people don't go back for it. And because of that, I have another fragrance that's more underrated that's still going to capture the same energy, but a little bit different. So this is from Dior. This is called Pure Poison. Now you might have heard me mention this many times. I call it a sensual fragrance, but this is, at the end of the day, a white floral with a beautiful clean musk that lasts a really long time. It has a little bit of light citrus at the top, but if you're looking for a long-lasting, classic, versatile fragrance, this is a pretty good alternative to Coco Mademoiselle. Again, I love Coco Mademoiselle. I think it's amazing, but if I had to recommend a new designer fragrance to buy for someone who perhaps doesn't have a big collection or is just trying to look for their first fragrance, I would definitely recommend getting your nose on Pure Poison. It has a lot of white florals with some modern take on it, and it's very it's elegant, but it's still not too mature. It's beautiful, it's very versatile, I love it, and you can tell how much I love it based on the fact that there is a considerable dent in this bottle. The next fragrance I want to talk about is YSL Libre, and hear me out. I think YSL Libre, all their fragrances, they have a few flavors in them. They have done some really amazing things in terms of really getting people turned on to the orange blossom note, the orange blossom and lavender. Typically, lavender wasn't something that was used a lot in feminine perfumes, but I truly believe that YSL Libre changed that, or had a hand in changing that. For me personally, YSL Libre is too intense. I cannot deal with that like potency, like that honeyed orange blossom. Like, it's too much. I can't deal with it. I've smelled it on other people, and I think other people wear it a lot more beautifully than I can. So that's why I don't have that fragrance, but I have encountered it on other people, and I'm like, what is that fragrance? And it's YSL Libre, but it's not a fragrance that I want to wear. So an alternative that I would suggest if you're looking for something lighter, something that's still vanilla forward, is with that lavender, is Mon Guerlain by Guerlain. And you might be thinking, why are you going to mention this fragrance? Because this fragrance is kind of died down. I don't know why, because this is, again, such a beautiful ladylike scent. It's a classic. It's a very versatile fragrance. It has a bit of sweetness, but not too much. It's a classic, beautiful scent. Another perfect perfume to wear if you're looking for that first fragrance. This is beautiful. I love it. It's amazing. Is it anything that's innovative or like anything to write home about right now, years after it's already been initially released? Probably not. But if you're looking for something a little bit more subtle and more wearable than YSL Libre, this is one to try. Next, if you're looking at the Mon Guerlain fragrances, I'm talking about the fragrances that look like this. and you are leaning towards the classic eau de toilettes, the Aqua Allegoria, the original line, I would suggest checking out their Forte line. And I have a fragrance from their Forte line here. This is Mandarin Basilic Forte, meaning it's the eau de parfum concentration. So it has a higher concentration of perfume oils, but it still is rather subtle. I would suggest, if you are going to be spending the money on a Mon Guerlain scent, to go for the Forte version, because the Forte version, it lasts like a typical amount of time that you would expect a perfume to last. But on me personally, the eau de toilette just disappears after like 30 minutes. So it's not a fragrance that I would recommend. It's not a fragrance that I have purchased because of that reason. So I definitely recommend going for the lesser known Forte line. Just try this out. See if you like it. Of course, you might like the more subtle ones, but I would recommend the Forte version, or at least sampling it before you make a decision. Let's talk Sol de Janeiro, and I've mentioned this fragrance a few times. I'm talking about Cheirosa 71. Now, the one from the line that's like the most talked about is, I think, Cheirosa 68. That one is like a vanilla, caramel, salty fragrance, and to be honest, I've tried that perfume. It's nice. It doesn't last on me that much. I wasn't too impressed with it. I think this is far superior. Cheirosa 71. This is a salted caramel macadamia fragrance. It's nutty. It's beautiful. A lot of people say this is intense. I would say, if you think it's too intense, just try spritzing one spray of it with like a bunch of body lotion and then putting on that body lotion, because a little bit will go a long way. And I do think this is better value. So Cheirosa 71 is the one that I recommend. Cheirosa 68 just did not last on me. It disappeared really quickly. Wasn't a fan of it. Would not recommend that one, but my favorite is 71. Next up is a fragrance that you might have already expected from this kind of video, but I would say do not purchase Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. It's not worth it. It's nothing new at this point. It's just an overpriced fragrance that will not last. In the same vein, Dior's Hypnotic Poison, again, so hyped up. I don't understand the hype with that fragrance. I bought that fragrance because everyone loved it, and I tried it, and it disappeared on me within like 2 seconds, and then it also smelled like Play-Doh. Sometimes almond notes will do that. I did not understand it. I did not understand it. Could not understand why it disappeared. Could not understand why it smelled so bad on me. It's just not a fragrance I'd recommend. Again, Lost Cherry 2, overpriced, no. The fragrances, or the fragrance that I'd recommend above those two, actually happens to be from YSL, and it's Black Opium Over Red. So this is their Black Opium flanker, or one of their many Black Opium flankers. But Black Opium Over Red is kind of like a chocolatey cherry. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's great if you want a cherry that lasts, but you also want a fragrance that's a little bit different compared to other designer fragrances. This one is more of a literal gourmand, and I really, really do like it. And the reason why I'm lumping it in with Hypnotic Poison is because a lot of times almonds can kind of smell like cherries in perfumery. So if you're looking for an alternative to either Hypnotic Poison or Lost Cherry, I'd highly recommend getting your nose on YSL's Black Opium Over Red. So the next perfume I would not recommend is by Giorgio Armani. This is Acqua di Gioia. I can never pronounce this fragrance, but I do own this perfume, but I have it stowed away because I don't wear it. And I was too lazy to get it out for this video because that would involve me just going into boxes, and I'm not going to do that for a perfume that I don't really wear anyway. So this is a perfume that has been kind of a classic. It smells citrusy, but it's very soapy, has a hint of mint, and it's a nice fragrance, nothing to write home about. I don't think it's worth the price at this point. It's just not giving. So if you're looking for like a refreshing, zesty perfume with citrus, and you want something that's truly different and that people don't talk about, try Chance Eau Fresh by Chanel. This has been one of my favorite perfumes for years, and I don't know why I haven't gotten a full-size bottle of it, because every single time I used to go into retail, like I'd have a few fragrances that I would just wear when I was working in retail, that I would, like testers that I would spray, and this was one of them. I was obsessed with this fragrance, and it lasted a really long time. Every now and then, I used to have a retail customer that would walk in, and they were willing to buy a few perfumes, and I would recommend this one to build their basket, and they almost always bought it because it's so good. If you haven't smelled it, you really should. I really, really love this one. It lasts. It's lemon, cedar, and citron at the top, a mid of water, hyacinth, pink pepper, and jasmine, and then a base of white musk, patchouli, vetiver, teakwood, iris, and amber. Oh my goodness, this is such a good perfume. If you like citruses and you haven't smelled this one, go smell it. Go try it out. It's gorgeous. Last but not least, I do want to mention an alternative for La Vie Belle by Lancôme, and I would say the other Lancôme fragrances too, but I'm mostly talking about La Vie Belle. So here's the thing about La Vie Belle. It's one of the most popular fragrances for a reason. People love it. People are drawn to it. It's an iconic fragrance, but it's just too sweet, and there's... I don't know. Okay, so how do I say this? How do I say this without sounding mean? I mean this in the nicest way possible. I'm saying this because I want you to have a fragrance that's unique and special and not typical. I don't want you to spend your money on perfumes, especially if it's your first or second or third perfume, that everyone already has. Because, like, what's the point? You know? La Vie Belle is one of those perfumes that everyone likely has or is familiar with or has smelled before. And I want you to have a fragrance that's different, that people will be taken aback by, that people will be like, oh, what are you wearing, you know? And La Vie Belle is not that at this point. I'm sorry, it's just not it. Some people love it. More power to you if you do. I wouldn't recommend it. The one that I would recommend from Lancôme that no one really talks about, I mean, people talk about this one, but not to the same extent, and I think that it's really underrated, is Idole Nectar. Oh my goodness. Chef's Kiss. Beautiful. So this has rose, so you have a floral in here, but it's also accented with some popcorn and caramel. Gorgeous perfume. Gorgeous. Smells amazing. I love this scent. I love this scent so much, and I'm coming down with something, so I'm like, I'm sounding a little bit nasally, but I can still smell it. It's gorgeous. So again, if you're looking for something that lasts very well, I mean, La Vie Belle is a long-lasting perfume. If you're looking for something that lasts, this is really good. If you're looking for something unique and fun and crowd-pleasing, this is really good as well. The Lancôme Idole fragrances in general, they have a really beautiful rose note to them that also is present in this flanker, but I just prefer this one because it has those gourmand elements that I just love. So if you're looking for something more unique, try this one out. It's gorgeous, and not a lot of people talk about this, so I would spend your money on this. But that's pretty much it for this video. Those were all the fragrances I would say buy this, not that with. Hopefully you were not too offended by this video. I'm sorry if I included a fragrance that you love, but guess what? We all have our opinions. There you go. But I would love to do more of these videos, specifically with like some more niche scents. I just wanted to keep a designer to start out with, but let me know your feedback. Let me know if you want to see more. I'm gonna go drink some tea because my voice is about to go. But thank you for watching till the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it interesting, and I'll see you next time. Bye.